Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Hope you are doing well. Today I will be talking about manhwa and webtoons, which focuses on the relationship between a father and daughter. These mangas are usually based on parenthood and brings up many great slice of life moments as they explore the relationship between the daughter and her father. Do not expect for a romantic relationship. But before we begin with the video, make sure to subscribe and like the video. So let's begin our list. Coming at number 1, we have Father, I Don't Want to Get Married. After waking up in the body of Juvelian, the villainess who is hated by everyone and is cast aside by her lover as well as her father to die a pitiful death, she decides to change the course of the story. She breaks up with her lover and gives up trying to win her father's love to avoid her tragic end. Instead, she hopes to use his wealth to enjoy her new life to its fullest. But while she prepares for her extravagant life as a lady, her father looks for a new suitor for his daughter. In the fear that she might be married off to the infamous psychopath prince, she desperately tries to find a solution, a dating contract. And her father's student seems to be the best candidate for the job. I really liked how this story started off. I really hope they don't continue the constant misunderstandings and just tone it down, since it ruins the mood sometimes. The art is beautiful, as are the characters. I hope the main character will soon realize that her father never truly despised her, and in fact never did anything to really suggest that other than being cold sounding and a bit harsh in tone. So hopefully that gets resolved and they can have a proper healthy father-daughter relationship. Coming at number 2, we have Who Made Me a Princess. This story follows the journey of Athanasia de Algar Obelia, a South Korean girl who reincarnated into the fictional story The Lovely Princess as the abundant princess of the Obelian Empire. In this story, Athanasia was mercilessly executed by her ruthless father, Emperor Claude de Algar Obelia, falsely accused of poisoning the beloved princess Janet Margarita. To avoid that fate, Athanasia decides she must build a relationship based on affection between herself and her father to survive. This is one of the best mangas that I have ever read, and I think this is forever going to be my favorite. The art is absolutely gorgeous, a super adorable manhwa about a little girl and her father filled with emotional moments that are extremely moving. This story hasn't been as much about romance, and surprisingly that hadn't mattered at all. Daddy Claude is one of the most unique characters that I have ever come across. I love how he is always half-dressed. He is ruthless to everyone except Athi. You will fall in love with every character of this manhwa. Coming at number 3, we have I Am the Precious Daughter of the Greatest Villain in the Fantasy World. The female lead gets reincarnated as the daughter of the greatest villain in the fantasy world of the martial arts. She is destined to die at the hands of the male lead after suffering from her one-sided love. Except her maid, nobody cares about her. In this world, the weak are the prey of the strong, vain antagonists. Therefore, she decides to master martial arts and escape. This story is about a fairly doting father without any overprotective roles and loving grandfathers. Her relationship with her father is an adorable one, and you can tell they both love each other very much. You can also tell that her father hasn't really had any loving relationships because at certain points he questions why he is reacting in such a way. Her relationship with the sect elders is both amusing and adorable. They can't help but be so fond of her. Her relationship with the male lead is cute too because he as well can't help but be fond of her. The romance was too early for my liking. I would like it more if the adventures of her childhood and her dad were focused more. The art is beautiful and the plot gets you hooked with its pretty decent pacing. Coming at number 4, we have Daughter of the Emperor. A 24-year-old woman who was murdered in her previous life gets reincarnated as the only daughter of the tyrant emperor Ketil of the Agrigent Empire. Afraid of being dying at the hands of her crazy father, she tries her best to survive. I really like the story and the development between the father and the daughter and how it progresses. The dad is both insane and hot, which is a good combination, I think. It's simple but entertaining and made me chuckle a few times. This story focuses on the characters' feeling and thoughts, how they change and be changed by each other, especially the female lead and her father. Their emotion, thoughts are all deep and remind of real life, which makes it wonderful. Coming at number 5, we have I Am the Real One. In order to receive love from her cold and emotionally distant father, Kiera tried her hardest to live the life of a perfect, submissive daughter. However, one day Cosette appears, claiming to be his real daughter, and after she somehow shows her manifested powers that only Kiera is meant to have, Kiera is executed under the assumption that she was never her father's daughter in the first place and conspired to deceive everyone. In the last moments of her life, Cosette whispers to Kiara that actually Kiara is the real one. Kiara, after recalling those words, returns to the past. Although Kiara wants to take revenge but also live her life to the fullest. A cute female protagonist's coming of age romance who has never made friends before and is on a mission to finally live her life for herself. I am not sure if there will be a male lead in this manhwa, considering how the events of the plot all focus on Kiara's gradual love and acceptance for herself. Her self-love and desire to be a better person for herself is just so adorable. This is a must read. Coming at number 6, we have The Baby Landlord is Retiring. After being executed as an architect in her second life, the female lead is reborn again. In this life, she is abandoned by her family since birth and is treated like an animal. Not aware of her real identity, she was trapped in a cramped room and barely fed to be alive. One day, while she was being beaten, the Duke of Adante comes to her rescue and takes her with him. Later, she gets to know that the Duke is her biological father and she tries her best to survive. It's like other manhwa who didn't receive love, no mother and especially reincarnated, but I still like it somehow. Coming at number 7, we have Monster Duke's Daughter. When her mom goes missing, 3-year-old Lottie Lucia stumbles on a magic crest that transports her to the estate of House Rhodium, one of the Empire's most powerful noble families. Little Lottie immediately recognizes Duke Damien Trorium as her dad. He is the so-called Monster Duke of demon descent. Once taken into the house, Lottie does her best to stay out of his way, but then she stumbles on a magic book that shows her a story about Duke Trodium's adopted daughter replacing his dead daughter, named Lottie Lucia. Lottie is shocked but also emboldened by the prophetic tale. If she is meant to die anyway, she might as well be her cheeky self and do as she pleases. This new Lottie wins over her demon dad along with his staff. The art is super pretty, especially the colors. It's a cute and fluff story. I hope you guys have a good day. See ya!